My name is Mark Miner. I am an investigative writer and author. In my travels, I've investigated many people and places. Watch as I seek out stories that are typically outside of the box of normal. I am the Seeker.
Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode. So we are at Fort Yamhill in Yamhill County, up by the coast, about 40 miles away from the coast in Oregon. And so actually I just found this place on accident as I'm driving. So this is a system of Fort Yamhill was one of several forts in western Oregon. Hostilities between Native Americans and settlers led to treaties and the establishment of Grand Ronde Reservation, which is a place we'll pass on the way home. Forts such as Yamhill and Hauntings were built to keep the peace, protect natives and settlers, and enforce reservation boundaries and rules. Huh, that's pretty cool. So we're actually going to walk these trails up here. And then there's like some places. It'll have interpretive signs and historic site markers. So we'll get to probably see some buildings. Alright, let's go for it. Very pretty up here though. Cross-cultural convenience store. Alright guys. Oh, this must be the store they're talking about up here. This must be the store. Oh, that's cool. Oh, this was the original officers' quarters. Notice the glass. You guys see the glass, how it kind of shimmers? Because that's how they did glass back in the day. Here is the officer's dress uniform. Super cool. Let's see. It's got like the parlor and the stuff. That's really cool. God, they dressed so fancy back in the day. Alright guys, let's go a little further down the trail. They got nice trails here. So you guys probably wonder why I come to places like this. What's this got to do with being an investigative writer? Well, everything really. So history is something that most of us writers are really into. Rule number one of being a writer is you write what you know, right? Or things that you've lived, your experiences. Well, history is part of that experience. So when you come to a place like this, like Fort Yamhill where we're at, you get a sense of the history of what they dealt with back in the day. Trying to find the peace between the Indians and the such. Okay, so here, I guess is where the blacksmith building used to be. This is where the stables used to be. Okay, I thought there were going to be buildings. Huh, interesting. Yeah, for some reason there's a fence around something out there. So anyways, yeah, there's history here. And sometimes, if enough of that history is left behind, you can get a good sense of it. So, this was where the bakehouse used to be. That's what that sign says right there. And it says, these little ones say protected area, which means you can't walk on it. It's got some cool trees in the middle though. I thought there was going to be some like buildings out here. Here's the laundress quarters. Yeah, I guess you can imagine it with buildings around there. Around here, I mean, there's plenty of open land. But we got an information board up here. So we'll see what that is. Woo! That sun is beating down. Okay, so this is where the kitchen used to be. I guess behind that fenced area. And the mess hall. So you can see, way back there, that sign right there says company quarters. Alright, so it says, ooh, catch my breath, guys. So these are not the officers' quarters. These are the company quarters, which is like regular soldiers. So it says our company quarters are quite a contrast to those of our officers. We are stacked like cordwood with about as much space per man as we have in our little wedge tents. This compares poorly with each officer's house, which is about the size of our entire barracks. Our barracks are only 50 feet by 30 feet for as many as 100 soldiers. Holy crap. 5 windows on the side open to a full-length porch. To the west, our mess room where we eat our breakfast and dinner. Supper is really simple, coffee and bread. That can't be right. We are paid $16 per month for soldier duties. I'm sure back then that was good pay. Whether chopping firewood, marching endlessly, or recapturing Indians who have left the reservation. But sometimes The paymaster doesn't come by for many months, and when he does, we are paid in scrip. Somebody look that up. SCRIP. I don't know what that means. Which is good only for full value of the settler's store. That should keep us close to home. Wow. March 28th, 1862. This is military justice. A soldier is allowed simply coffee and bread for supper, and because he doesn't eat all he receives at dinner and reserves the same for his supper, he is placed in confinement. Okay, you're not given much, but you have to eat it all, or else you're put into like a soldier jail. April 5th, 1862. Weather's fine. Some excitement caused by Tai E. John demanding a pass from soldiers, saying he had orders from our officers to souse every soldier in the river who would not show a pass. Again, I don't know what souse means. S-O-U-S-E. This sounds every like Lieutenant Garden, who considers an Indian better than a soldier. Such orders, if persisted in, will result in a roar. In other words, people will throw arms up and say, nah, that ain't fair. April 7th, 1862. Our fare is rancid pork and beans, sour bread and coffee. If we subsist on this diet, scurvy will be the inevitable consequence. They had to eat that. Okay. April 8th, 1862. Captain at retreat informed us that we could draw an extra blanket. Now, at this late day, summer nearly here, we are generously informed that we can have a blanket. Why in the name of common sense and humanity did he refuse to have issued those 7 blankets in the quartermaster's department when suffering men solicited the favor during the extreme cold of last winter? Question it. Oh, that's a good question, yeah. Alright guys, a couple more entries. July 4th, 1862. At 12, a national salute was fired. The company then formed for dress parade. Acquitted themselves creditably. We had an excellent supper. 63 ladies and not less than 150 gentlemen partook. All concurred in the opinion that it exceeded anything of the kind yet had in Oregon. That was all in this area. That was a lot of people. Okay. August 21st, 1862. Cool. Our new clothes proved to be some pants of the new sky blue color. Nearly all wool. Oh my god, that's thick. Very fine and add much to the uniform appearance of the men. The reason for this change of color by governor is a saving of nearly $1 million years for dyeing material. August 25th, 1862. Mounted guard. Weather extremely hot. One Indian in charge. Kinghorn magician exhibited his sleight of hand tricks in the mess room. A large audience of admiring Oregonians. Though nothing extra, it was quite a relief from the usual monotony. October 31st, 1862. This is Halloween. 31st and last of August. General muster. A large number of people here to see us. Mustered. Uncle Sam owes us 8 months' pay. Several boys detailed to hunt Indians. And that's what they look like. Wow, that's crazy, guys. See, it kind of gives you the day in the life of these people, these soldiers. And I guess from what he was writing in his diary. Oh, there's the flagpole. What he was writing in his diary was that the Indians were being treated better than the soldiers. So, but I mean, think about that. Seriously, you get coffee and bread for dinner. Coffee and bread. Isn't that crazy? I mean, look at us today. We get extravagant lasagna, pizza, you know, tacos, you know, good dinners. and these people ate on coffee and bread. It's insane. And then they didn't get paid for 8 months. You know darn well that they were just having a hard time. Why would these people enlist if that's the case? I have no idea. Okay, I don't know what that is over by the tree. Huh. We'll find out. So this was... Oh, that's a tree stump. This is where the blockhouse was. Okay, so this blockhouse... what town is that in? I saw this blockhouse, I saw this in another town. I can't remember where it's at now. I don't know if it'll tell us. Okay. So it says, we placed our blockhouse where our sentinels can easily observe the Indian camps below the fort. So that's below. Has to be below there. That's the only way you can see down. The point we built on was a strategic location originally to defend our fort. Things didn't turn out that way. It's pretty quiet. Before the guardhouse was built, we used the blockhouse as a jail for both soldiers and Indians. Remember, if you don't eat your bread and coffee, sometimes together. Offenses that could land you in jail include drunkenness, rule infractions, or more serious crimes. Now we store our ammunition and explosives in the blockhouse. So, Dayton. There it is. So they're moving the blockhouse to Dayton, Oregon. And that's where it is in Dayton, Oregon. That's what it is. Yep. So the blockhouse was sold at auction in 1866 to the auctioneer for $2.50 and used for storage. About a year later, it was moved to the Grand Ron Agency and used as a storage house and jail. In 1911, the blockhouse was moved to Dayton and is now in Palmer Park. The park memorializes Joel Palmer, a former superintendent of Indian Affairs for the Oregon Territory. So again, that's... let's get the shadow out of the way. That is the blockhouse. So... So over 25 dialects of nearly 10 languages were spoken on the early reservation. Chinook-Wawa, not English, was the common language of the community. Chinook-Wawa is an indigenous language that originated near the mouth of the Columbia River. Nearly everyone who came here knew this language prior to arriving. Early Indian agents, reachers, and priests found learning Chinook-Wawa essential to communicate with us. We remember and continue to teach this language to our children today. Huh. So then they used to play a game, what they called shinny, but it's this word. I don't know what it is. So shinny is a favorite pastime. We play it on a flat prairie or beach. Two teams with the same number of men begin play when their leaders first strike the ball into the center of the playing area. Our equipment includes a wooden ball and steam-bent wooden sticks. We try to pass the ball to the opposing team's goal. The game is a very physical sport. That kind of sounds like, oh, what's that called when you have the nets on the sticks? God dang it, I can't think of it. Alright, so we're gonna go, I don't know if this rounds, oh, I think it does round around. Okay. So we're gonna see where some other buildings were. So there's my car, my 4Runner, way down there. Okay. Huh. Well, the area is actually bigger than what I thought it would be. Okay, so this, let me get there. This is where the commissary used to be. I wish they still had the buildings here. This is where the guardhouse used to be. Those must have been small buildings, let me tell you. And this was adjutant's office. Again, I don't know what an adjutant is. Maybe we can look that up and find out. All right, we got. So there's the flagpole. That is wood. That is so cool. That's an oldie. Okay, what is this? This is about. So it talks about the soldier's life. So this one says September 16th, 1862. 1 year ago today, I left home, friends, all that man holds dear, to serve my country. The year was passed in peace, not an armed rebel having shown himself. We are under orders in a line of duty, and although we have not conquered any enemy, we have conquered ourselves. Learn to obey and learn to stifle any sensation, feeling, as a necessary measure to effect a perfect discipline. So here's kinda how the houses were. So we're actually, as you can see, we are here. Yeah. So we're heading to some more, where some more houses used to be. So this was pretty, so they had a lot of land in here. This is probably going to be a kind of a longer episode because there's so much information here to read. This is just reconstructing the area. We don't need to hear that. The wind's blowing through the trees over here. Makes it sound like somebody's moving around. Okay. So this is the officers' row. Rank has privilege. So this is where the officers had their houses. As you can see in the picture, they would watch the soldiers by the flagpole from over here. So, okay. So, I wonder if this trail rounds around. I thought it did. I don't know, we'll see. It is rather warm out here because there's like no trees blocking the sun, but it's only like 83 degrees. So they got a fence over there. Maybe this is the end of it. Oh, I think it is. Oh no, it goes down. Okay. Oh, we get to walk through the forest. Okay. So, I can't read that. Sentry row. Sentry box, whatever. Guarding the gateway. Oh, this is where the gate was, the main gate. And this was the Indian said, To survive, we work off the reservation for settlers. They call some of us bad Indians and refuse to supply a pass. We clean houses and cook for them. We split and stack firewood. Our aunties sell their baskets. They are very popular. We continue to rely on our traditional skills like hunting, gathering, and weaving to survive. In the fall, our whole family travels to Mr. Peterson's farm. We work the fall harvest and camp on site for about a month. Some Indians try to return home to Southern Oregon by using secret trails to slip by the soldiers. Oh, because they were forced into this area. Wow. Okay, let's see where this trail goes. Whew, I am sweating like a stuck pig. Let me tell you, there was like no shade over there. And I'm hoping this leads back to the parking lot. Because I think I went backwards on the trail. So this was what led to the main gate. This is the trails. This is the trail that the Indians took. And I find it interesting that they spoke a Native Indian or Native American tongue before they would speak English. That's interesting. So I guess in a way the Indians had to be here. I mean, they were forced to be here because it was a reservation. But yet they were higher than the soldiers in rank, in social rank. Interesting. It's weird how that works. Okay, so we got something else here. Passage through time. Oh, this is the Indians. So this route was known by the settlers as the Killamook Trail. We used it to travel between places like the Salmon River and Willamette Falls to trade and interact with others. This was long before white people came. Local tribes used this path to visit their Tilixim, friends and relations, on the coast and the valley. It was a good route, the path of least resistance. Settlers recognized this and began to use it. Whites stayed in the area, created fear and friction. Later, we traveled this and other routes as we were relocated from our original homelands to the Grand Ronde Reservation. And there's see that map? Kind of got a map here. So right now we're on the Killamook Trail. Oh yeah, that's cool. All right, let's get to the end. It is a cool trail. Could you imagine? I'm going to tell you, driving out here was about, I'm trying to think, 60 miles. And it takes about an hour and 15 minutes. Because of traffic and all that, stoplights. Small towns that got smaller speed limits. But could you imagine following this trail all the way to where I live in the Willamette Valley, 60 miles away? That's insane. That's a lot of walking. And they would do that for trade. So they're carrying merchandise and things that they created. That's crazy. Oh, this does empty out into the parking lot. Wow. Beautiful trail though. I like this trail upside the one that was up top. The one up top, man, I was sweating my patooties off. I don't know what it is with, okay, I'm going to say it. I'm not racist by any means, but I don't know what it is with white people. Why must they, every time they move somewhere or, make land for themselves, they get rid of the trees. Why do we do that? I have to say we because I'm white, obviously. Why do we do that? I mean, I know we have to use some for like farming and stuff, but that's insane. Like, why wouldn't you want to live among the trees like that? I would totally live among the trees. But every time I go to a place that has history and the white man settled there, they would like clear the land of bushes and fauna and plants and trees. And I just don't get why they do that. Okay guys, so we're nearing the end of the trail. We're coming down.